See, I consider myself a fajita connoisseur.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what? I'm sorry?
Connoisseur.
You just like that sizzling plate to come out to draw attention to you.
No.
Oh, it is.
Look at me. I got fajitas.
I'm purely in it for the fajita. That's what AFS stands for.
Fajita?
A fajita
Always
specialist?
fajita snacking.
Okay.
Always.
Always
Too much about
fajita
fajitas. I think that needs to be the
Always
word of the
fajita
episode.
Yeah.
I used to call it.
Home is DC,
Home is right outside of DC.
and you get to the conference, and how do you're like magnets? You and Potterchin attract, you find each other. And when I say attract, I'm not,
So, probably a month ago, we do this thing called the Wallet Watch Challenge.
Yes. I was going to ask you about that.
The Wallet Watch Challenge.
Wallet Watch Challenge.
And so about a month ago, Aaron, or as you guys refer to him, Aaron,
He done messed up, didn't he?
He sends me a text. He goes, "Hey man,"
You guys text each other.
he says, "You want to put a wager on this top advisor by participant outcomes
Man, I'm liking this.
award?" And I said, "All right." And so he said, "If I win, you're buying me dinner with my pick in Vegas."
Okay.
And I was like, "All right, that's a deal."
And you win.
if I win, he's buying me dinner. And so he's like, "I'm just going to totally ruin your wallet watch." Like, because he's going to, if he was so confident that he was going to win, he's going to, take, I was going to go to like whatever,
and that it wasn't going to be frugal.
Yeah, it's going to take me to like a steakhouse, and I was going to buy him like a $150 steak or something.
Aaron is a confident man.
Yeah, so I land and I text him. I'm like, "Hey, are you here?" And he was ready. He's like, "All right, let's meet up."
Go. And then we see you.
Yep.
The Retireholics, as everyone would expect, are sitting at a blackjack table, drunk as a skunk.
That's not how this worked out, though.
No.
Mark wants his credit.
No, I don't want credit, but they didn't come to us. I brought them to you.
Oh, okay. Oh.
You're not that special.
I
JD.
thought they just saw us.
No.
So you guys come, you watch the mess that is the Retireholics at the blackjack table.
I had a great time.
It was fun.
It was awesome watching you guys lose, hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars.
Which I would like to say for the record that as your employer, I did fund their gambling money to start.
You remember, you didn't take deductions.
Yeah.
I didn't get to make a full
It is W-2 comp. We're going to make that right. We're going to get that figured out. We'll gross it up for taxes. We'll put your deferral in there. It's all good.
I want that on my W-2.
Then Aaron says he's going to leave. He starts to head off down the casino hallway, and I was confused because I thought for sure you came together. I think of you together as one all the time. I thought for sure you were staying in the same room, maybe the same bed. I had no idea, but no.
Snuggle buddies.
No,
Instead, you are competitors to the point that
You're
for this
making
award,
bets.
you're making
That's
bets.
fantastic.
There was an award ceremony today, right?
There was
that we did not go to.
We didn't go to.
Who actually won today?
I blacked out, frankly.
Too many drinks last night.
Yeah.
When I was on stage.
Can I tell you what?
Wait. On stage.
This guy won the what's it called?
The TAPO
award here at the Excel.
The top advisor by participant outcomes.
And Mark said he's won. He's going to be all cocky that he won. Let's pretend like we don't know and see how he reacts. So you've stayed
never
cool.
said any of that,
You stayed
Alex.
calm.
Never said
You're the
that.
champ.
So, big question.
You won.
Where are you guys going to dinner?
Yeah, where are you going to dinner?
I don't know. That's a great question. I've got a crew back in the DC area that are deep into research on the best steakhouse in Vegas.
In California. I'm just throwing it out there. If you need crew.
I don't know if we can get. I don't know if he's going to cover transportation. If that's in the cards, if
he's definitely not going to cover 4+4s.
We might be able to swing that.
All right. Well, welcome, Alex A.
Yeah.
I don't know how to
You're not
pronounce
even going to
his
give a
last
shot?
name. I asked him last night if he could tell me. He said no. Take a shot at it. So, Alex Assaley.
There you go.
I got it.
Yeah.
Is he on it?
Yeah.
I got it. Welcome to the Retireholics.
Thanks for having me.
We're super excited to have you here. I'm going to explain a little more why we're so excited, but before we do that, like every episode of Retireholics, we must have the beer of the episode. Chad Johansson is going to grab these suckers for us, and first he's going to grab one for you.
Wait, we're definitely not drinking this,
No,
right?
he is. Mr. Gluten-Free, we got you a cider.
All right.
Chad and I spent probably 10 minutes in the liquor store trying to find a gluten-free beer. We failed. We will be drinking Dogfish Head 60-minute IPA. Brandon will throw the graphic up on the screen. Give us one or two examples of a gluten-free beer for our audience, because Chad and I failed miserably.
So probably the best gluten-free beer is the Stone Delicious IPA.
That's what we were looking for, too.
That's number one. There's a place up in Seattle, Ghostfish Brewery.
Yeah.
We saw that
They make
too.
a great gluten-free IPA. And then there's this Canadian company called Glutenberg
I saw that.
that makes some gluten-free beers.
Those are probably hard
Hey,
to come
congrats,
by.
congrats,
Look at you
Alex.
out there.
Seriously,
Congrats,
dude.
Alex.
Yeah.
It's a good episode. Here we go. Congrats on your win.
Thank you.
Cheers, Justin.
Well done, dude.
That's like winning
Cheers.
the MVP of like a sport, right? I mean,
It is, yeah. And so I brought my
best of the
my
Where's
my
your-
basketball shoes
Where's your trophy?
for the for
You
the
didn't bring your trophy?
yeah, my trophy's packed up.
Oh,
I
you
got
know.
knowledge for 1 second. TAPO, right? Participant outcomes.
Yeah.
I love that that's what they're grading you guys on. All the different things we go to, it's how many assets did you accrue and how big's your book? No. This is about actually moving the needle and making an impact, and that's awesome.
I have some bad news for you, Alex. We're going to
Yeah.
do word of the episode, Alex.
Okay.
Let me explain this to you and explain this to our audience. I'm going to pick a word right
Let's
now,
get a bottle like tequila.
and I am going to pick that word as 401k. So if you say the word 401k,
Oh, that's gonna be easy.
is it?
Come on.
Yeah.
Something
Too
better.
easy?
Yeah.
Say a different word.
All right.
That's not even a word. That's a number.
Let's go.
Well,
Let's go theme of the day, and we'll just go participant again.
Oh, okay.
It's a tough one.
okay.
If you say the word, starts with a P, you must drink from this. It's gluten-free. What is it?
It's kombucha, but it is
Why are
June
those ones so
kombucha,
small and
wild
ours are
tonic,
full?
raspberry, goji, rose.
So we're going to help our gut at the same time? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, financial wellness.
Okay.
This is better than drinking something heavy.
But to kick us down kind of a theme, one of the reasons why we're excited to have you on this show is our audience is financial advisors, among other industry pros, what have you. But so to get someone on the show that is an advisor, and we haven't had a lot on the show in the past, and to get someone that does it well, that's a real big advantage for us, or an opportunity, I should say, to share some of your secrets,
Yep.
some of the things you do. Can you tell us quickly, like, how did you get into this business? I mean, what's the firm you're with? Go ahead, you can plug it a little bit. But I want to know more about you, why you're in it, and how you feel about it. Do you love it? Do you not? Like, tell me a bit about that.
Okay, so I'll try to give you the short and sweet version, and then Justin, you just cut me off when it's gone on too long. I'm with my firm's called AFS 401k Retirement Services. We're based right outside the Washington D.C. area. We're an independent firm focusing solely on retirement plan and financial wellness consulting for companies, organizations, and employees.
Always fajita snacking.
Always AFS stands for always fajita snacking.
Continue on.
I
Yeah.
want to work in your office. We're eating fajitas all the time.
So, not to get like too,
Sizzling plates.
emotional or serious, but here's how I got here. When I was growing up, my dad was a financial advisor. My uncle still is in Cincinnati. And it wasn't as if this is what I thought I wanted to do. I was actually more into like.
So you have zero creativity. You just want to be like your dad.
No, the
I'm
opposite. I was.
Hey, shocking.
Yeah.
Hey. Go on.
And so I did want to be just like my dad. I was into music and I played guitar and piano. Christmas when I was 16, my dad gave me Santana, Abraxas, and Allman Brothers live at the Fillmore, and he said, you got to just like listen to these nonstop for the next year. But so my dad was a financial advisor, and my mother was a psychologist. And when I was 17 years old, my dad unexpectedly passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And so it was a huge shock emotionally,
Sure.
and you know, psychologically and financially to our family. And my mom wasn't as knowledgeable about personal finance
Not
and financial
uncommon.
literacy. Yeah. And so it opened my eyes and helped me understand how the vast majority of people feel when it comes to their everyday money decisions, right? As they don't know how to make the best decisions. And everybody wants to do a better job, but they just don't know how. They don't know what steps to take. And so I went to college and studied economics. And like I said before, my mom was a psychologist, so she was the type of person that kind of like analyze, you know, people at the grocery store, like, oh, that person's a little bit, you know, bipolar or whatever.
I knew that's what psychologists do.
You know, that sort of thing.
they did that.
But it was interesting because as I graduated school and I knew I wanted to go into financial services, and I found my business partner who was then my boss, I quickly saw this, like, the confluence of money and sort of financial topics that I was really interested in, and psychology, because really what we're talking about is how people behave and how they think about money. The sort of the emotional and the psychological experience we have with money is the driver of how the vast majority of decisions are made, whether it's saving in your 401k or putting money away in emergency savings or putting money away for something that you want to achieve in 3 or 5 or 7 years.
Well, we talked about it earlier today. If you have money problems or you're not minding your finances, it's really hard to just enjoy day-to-day life.
Yeah.
And so it can be a big impact on just your well-being and your mental state. So you can't overlook that. Like, are you in one geographic area? Are you covered? How many plans are you working with?
Sure.
Ballpark?
So we've got about 75 plans.
75 plans.
And predominantly sort of in the mid-market, so anywhere from maybe 10 million up to a few $100 million in assets. Most of them have about, let's say, 50 to 600-700 employees.
Damn it.
And then
Did you just do that on purpose? You didn't use the P word?
oh, I hate the P word.
Oh, we should have picked something.
No, this is going to be super
Okay.
easy. I'll take a couple drinks with you because I know one of
It's
you.
a good word
Yeah.
for
We've been a long
employees
way
is
through this.
It's getting kind of
participant.
boring.
Yeah.
Participant. Yeah.
Thanks.
So
Continue on.
in every decision that we make in our firm, the basis, the sort of the point of focus is the employee, right? As we start there in this like sort of from the bottom up, right? As opposed to thinking, all right, we're going to create fiduciary governance first, and then based on that fiduciary governance, then as long as the framework for that allows us to deliver education to employees, we'll do it this way. You know, the way that we think about whether it's plan design or strategic planning or fiduciary oversight or investment menu architecture is starting at the employee. How do we create all the services across the spectrum that help employees
It's like you're
improve their
re-engineering
financial
it
life?
from down there backwards.
So without giving away any trade secrets, so
No, give them all away.
AA doesn't get you next year.
Yeah.
Are there tools you're using to gauge
Skills.
that, and or to apply to specific employees because everyone's different? What are you guys doing?
You know, the great thing is, other advisors can't be me, right? Because I'm Alex, and like they can be them, right? And so there's nothing that I do that's like this unbelievable like secret that's going to help you, grow your business more than anybody else. You've got to do what's unique to you and what aligns with your value. And so there are advisors here, there are advisors across the country that truly believe they can build better custom target date funds than anybody else. And if that's what they're passionate about, they should build a business around it, right? So for us, and for me in particular, and the people on my team, and the mindset that we have a tagline, right? And the tagline is,
This better be good.
I'll let you judge. You rate on a scale of 1 to 10 after I say this. The tagline is, we want you to enjoy your life, all of it.
6.
Is 1 the highest or is 10 the highest on the scaling?
I don't really know.
And here I thought it was always fajita
Always
snacking.
fajita snacking.
Right.
Okay, we
but
want to enjoy life all the
the point of it is that, you know, I feel like a lot of times in conversations, we want to help you save for your retirement at all other costs. And I'll give you a good real life example,
I got you.
right? Because in a lot of conventional advisor education is, hey, just cut out that Starbucks every day and drink coffee at your office. You'll be able to put that extra, you know, $15 a week in your 401k and be able to retire. But if you're like me and the crew at my office know that the venti Americano is a requirement every morning, I enjoy that immensely. One thing that I enjoy today.
Yeah.
And so we want to give people the tools so that they can make the best decisions to enjoy their life today, tomorrow, and in retirement. And so to your question.
What I wanted to ask you is,
so how do you do that, right?
Do you show a committee, look, we have helped your employees, here's the numbers, here's how we've done it? Like, do you show them tangible proof?
We do, and here's how. So first of all, you need to know what are we striving towards, right? So one of the first things that we do with any new client relationship, and then again on an annual basis, is we have what I call the strategic planning session with the committee. And we kind of prep them in advance to the extent they want to do a little advanced prep work. Yeah. But the idea is we want you to start with a clean slate and tell us if you could create the perfect retirement financial benefits offering to your employees,
what would it look like?
With no restraints, with no, it costs too much, or we can't do that, or our general counsel wouldn't allow that. What would it look like? What do you think your employees need? And so before, and to help them with the prep work, the way we give them a little bit of institutional knowledge is we look at the demographic data of their organization, right? We look at the metrics that you would think about that are, commonly used in the industry: participation rates, savings rates, average account balance, loan values.
It was close, but it was not.
I'll go for
retirement readiness kind of stuff.
Right. We look at all those demographic things across income, across age, but then we even, I would say more importantly, we ask for employee feedback. We have employees go through this financial wellness assessment, and we ask them across about 10 or 15 questions the most important goals, challenges, and hurdles, I mentioned that earlier, that they have when it comes to their financial life. And from there, we're using the actual quantitative demographic data with softer employee feedback on this is what I'm struggling with.
Some of the committee opinions.
And some of the committee opinions to say, these are the things we need to improve.
So you've mapped out your blueprint.
And then we create and formalize those as goals. And then we go to work.
And as an example, I think from seeing some of your stuff, and it's something we've talked about.
Good.
We've talked about a lot.
It's supposed to be bad, damn it.
We've talked about a lot on this show is the emergency fund.
Yeah.
And so you may go into a client, bring this up, and go through all the demographics, and it may look to you like, oh, geez, a lot of these people, what was the national stat?
Right.
Someone told me they don't have $400.
$500 for an emergency.
400, 600, and 500.
They
now
don't
I
have
love
it. Yeah.
It all works.
Could
they
be
don't have it.
It's all made up.
Yeah.
Just make it up.
And you may say, we need to solve this.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, we agree. And we say, well, we polled your employees. They agreed too. They'd love to have this.
That's right.
And you will take that on as a plan of attack.
That's right.
And help me with that, because I saw something. It was, you created a challenge. I saw this on some videos. I've been stalking you,
The
bro.
Wall Watch Challenge.
That's the Wall Watch Challenge?
Yeah.
And this,
WWC, dog.
Yeah.
the Wall Watch Challenge. And this is like, you send this out to all your clients, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Through email blast campaign.
Yeah.
Try to get people to sign up. You monitor that and see who's signed up. And then you maybe send them cool, helpful tips, templates. You do a video for them every week. How did that? I don't want to guess at it all.
Keep going.
No.
You keep guessing.
And you did it. So I've been sitting on this couch for years saying, where's this kind of stuff? Who's doing this kind of stuff? And I saw
Tapo,
it.
man.
I got so
Tapo.
excited. Is it working? Are you enjoying it? Did the clients like it? Did the participants give me some feedback on this thing?
Yeah, see, he's even calling you
thanks.
out now. Well
So,
done.
No one else caught that one.
so here's the
Good
thing.
job, Alex.
We, I think that you've got to engage employees in the ways that are most natural and native to them, right? So a 55-year-old, and I don't mean this to be
Isn't
generalizing,
gonna follow your Snapchat.
but a 55-year-old loves the idea of sitting in a lunch session and hearing about Social Security, right? And being there and hearing me or one of the experts, one of the CFPs on our team, present around how Social Security works and different claiming strategies. Perhaps there's another 55-year-old, or if we think stereotypically, it's a 30-year-old that says, I'd rather see a 2-minute video on Alex explaining whether I should go Roth or traditional in my 401k contribution election. And so we're creating content for a number of different audiences, but primarily, again, for that employee audience, or what we call the personal finance information seeker, and helping them in the type of medium that is most native for them.
Did you just call employees personal finance information seekers?
Yes.
I think we should
I
change
don't know
the
how I
word of the
feel about
episode to
that.
employee. I would like to nominate that because he clearly does not say
wait,
the
hold
keyword.
on. You want to file an amendment?
I'd like to file an amendment.
First
to
time
adjust
on the
word
show.
of episode
Okay.
to
We
employee.
need a 4-vote approval.
Fine, let me finish
Approval?
mine. Yeah, approved.
Approval?
It's both now, P word and
You
D
don't
word.
count.
Oh.
Approval? Yeah. Approval.
Your words.
All right. Participant.
Just to check, is this
it's both.
This is
son of a-
this is a prospective amendment, right? We're not going to be able to do this retroactively.
No, not retroactive. We're not going to go back to the beginning
Can't go
of the
back.
We
episode.
should.
Can't go back.
You'd be
Yeah.
Good 401k humor. Okay, so I get
Whoa,
you. You're
should
saying
we change seats?
I'm going to create content,
Yeah.
education in a variety of forms.
In a variety of forms.
So I use multiple lures so it
Yeah.
fits for everybody, so they get it. Because
Yep.
I do, and that's true of you. And let's go there because I want to bring that up.
Yep.
I see you on Twitter. I see you on Instagram. I see the YouTube videos. I see stuff on your website. I see something called like Benefits Nav.
Yep.
So is that a place where someone can go to gain information and learn? What is
So
that?
we built these two portals, Benefits Nav and MoneyNav.
By the way, I'm not just trying to promote your own stuff.
Yeah, no, keep
I'm
it going.
trying to get
This is-
these
Trying to help.
people out there to go, oh, I could do something like
Yeah.
that, right? So go on.
So MoneyNav is the hub to how we're delivering financial wellness. So I think a lot of advisors struggle with, I go out and I deliver, because there's a ton of advisors here that are awesome in terms of helping people. You heard a guy this morning, George Fraser, talk about helping people understand, saving a penny a penny on the dollar will get you towards retirement.
RBG, dude.
Right? Yeah,
I like that
exactly.
guy.
And so, but the challenge is you go out and you deliver this presentation, regardless of the topic. Let's say we're talking about, the importance of emergency savings and debt management, and you deliver a cool presentation. Maybe you have some interactive videos, maybe you have some handouts, and then you go back to your office and you move on to the next client, and then the HR team or the benefits team is like, hey, can we get access to that? I need to send it out to employees, or you give it to them and they don't actually hit the email. So we created MoneyNav of this hub where all that content lives. And so we're creating automated workflow so that if I go out and deliver a presentation on, we have one called Dollars and Cents, and it's really about helping people understand cash flow. Because people hate the idea of budgeting. Budgeting is like, that should be a next episode. Budgeting is such a dirty word, right?
Don't try to give us
You
ideas.
have a lot of dirty words, by the way.
I really hate any like the cliche,
Participant.
Yeah. Any of the any of the cliche things, I'm not a big fan
Okay,
of.
so that is what I thought it was.
Yeah.
It's a hub.
And
to
so
go
and so
and-
the thing is, so people can
good.
use
That's
this
not
hub,
true.
and we're pushing out content. And so if a worker, see how I did that?
Yeah.
I like that.
Now you just sound like a
I'd like to file another
nice guy.
If somebody says, hey,
We can make this happen.
I like these emails, they subscribe to the community, and then we're going to send them an email, and they can, and either through completing the assessment or by their own election, we can identify, or they can identify which topics are most relevant to them, and then we'll push content on those topics.
It's a reoccurring theme I keep hearing, not just from you,
Right?
from people, is
Right.
is customizing this content, these ideas, and
Content
getting them to the
is
right
a big
people.
C word
Yeah.
these days. Yeah.
Okay, so that's cool.
And so I just want to go back. So the thing with the wallet watch is we said, you know, there's like all of this great both anecdotal and quantitative data around health wellness, around how creating steps challenges and, you know, doing your whatever, you know, visiting your primary care physician for like a healthy checkup.
Right.
All those sort of things help people improve their own health, their personal health. And so why don't we take the experience there and turn the same thing into somebody's financial life?
for sure.
Now it's still like, for whatever reason, it's still a little, some part of it's like still a little bit taboo, right? Like you could do this steps challenge and you're like, hey, guess what? Alex won the steps challenge. He lost 30 pounds and I get up on stage and people love it. But if we did it like with finances and they're like, Alex won, he had $30,000 in debt and he has zero, it's still like a little cringing.
You post it on Facebook and everyone supports you and
Yeah.
you do the weight loss thing or
Yeah.
whatever. My wife and my 14-year-old son are on like a 30-day ab core challenge where they're doing these workouts together. It's common in fitness and exercise.
Yeah.
And I agree. As soon as we get into finance, it's like, it's weird.
People don't like to talk about
Yeah.
finance.
So now,
Mark mentioned that earlier.
what I was going to say was, we've had this conversation a number of times, and I'm not going to call you out, but I am at the same time, because I don't want people to believe that you're up here saying these things because you go into a meeting and you tell your clients, this is what I'm going to do. I want to know, how are you showing results? How are you showing that you've actually put this into action and it's getting engagement? That was a common word in our last episode. Like your accountability. How are you proving this? That you, obviously, you were up on stage receiving an award. I'm not saying that you're not doing this. You obviously are. But what I'm trying to say is, give me more. How are you doing this, and how are you showing that it's actually working?
Do you share the wallet
Because I
watch
believe
results?
all of it. I believe it, but I don't. I want people to know it's possible.
Go ahead.
I think people are what you're getting at, and you and I have had this conversation. People
I just
are
ask
preaching
questions.
it
Just
and
let
not
them
doing
answer.
it.
So-
Your competitors are preaching truthfully and not doing it.
So I believe you've got to meet with the people, right? Is that you have to be willing to meet one-on-one with people. The vast majority of the employees, because I got to say it, the vast majority of the employees, it's a double.
Make it a double.
Across the country will never have their own personal financial advisor.
Right.
But they need help. They need financial guidance. They need financial
Fine, fair
advice.
enough. I'm going to
You
interrupt
say
you.
so
that,
you've
no,
got-
hang on. You
I
say
get
that,
it.
but at the same time, I was so proud of you because of the challenge and the video and the email. Like, that's a workaround to that. Now
Yep.
you're able to help multiple people without sitting down with them one-on-one, and now you're flipping back.
You got to
on
do
me.
both.
Fair
you got to do both.
But
So I think about it in this pyramid is that there's some percentage. I don't know what that percentage is, and we could kind of just,
Make it up. We make it up
we do
all
it
the time. Yeah.
So
212%.
Throw it out.
So let's say it's
60,000%.
Let's say it's 40% of the population. 40% of the employees that we serve triple it up. 40% of the employees that we
No, we're not
serve
giving
we're just
you
going to
one.
save them for after.
No.
across our client relationships, we can engage and help drive them towards making wise financial decisions through group sessions, web-based sessions, videos, infographics, the Wallet Watch Challenge. We have another one called the Living Debt-Free Program, and we can get 40% there.
Okay.
All right?
And this isn't theory. These are all things that he's doing right now.
There's
I never said he
No, I
wasn't.
know.
And then there's another group, maybe that's 20, 30%. If I think about it, it's probably closer to 30% in terms of like the number of people we serve that we meet with one-on-one in a year, right? So 30% were
okay.
there.
So you guys are just grinding,
and then the
basically.
final 30% are not going to engage because they're the higher income earners, they're the executives, they have their own
whatever
financial professional, or they're the engineers and architects who do it themselves, which we serve some of those organizations too, and they're great. But that's how I think about it, right?
Okay.
And so a lot of times the question comes up, well, how do you actually do that? How do you deliver that? How do you scale it? It's not profitable. It's like, and so part of my answer is, run a business like an Amazon would, and double down on resources and double down on human capital because it's what people demand, and outwork your peers and competitors by doing more and being willing to make less profit in the short term to find ways to create greater efficiency and scalability over the medium and long term.
I'm really excited by that, because part of me always, when we have these conversations, always thinks that the reason why our audience isn't taking action is because there's this mythical, I have to find this magic wand to wave in order to do something. And you're proving the theory of you just outwork the competition, you believe in what you believe in, and you get in there and you do this shit. And you just go for it. So tell the camera, tell the audience that if you just believe it, go out and do it, you'll get onto you'll go onto a podium, you'll give a horrible acceptance speech to 4 guys who drink beer.
And make Aaron Bodichin feel like crap.
And it's friggin' possible. It's not rocket science.
What did Aaron finish, 12th?
I think 11th or 12th.
Did they name it?
We should make
the thing is, I'm totally jinxing. He's gonna his business is gonna totally eclipse mine over the next
Alex gonna be
make him a participation award.
He's watching right now at the gym on a bike. Just going, I'm gonna get him.
Let me ask a question.
Is Eye of the Tiger playing while he's working
out?
You
had to have failed at some point with this. Can you give us a tribulation, something that you went through that you realized, dang, I was wrong with this?
Sure. I mean, the first one, it's kind of, look, I'm in a very fortunate position. This is a good day for me. I'm having a few of these kombucha drinks and being recognized among, a great sort of peer group. But when I first started, literally the first 3 years that I was in the industry was just a total grind. I mean, I was working 70, 80-hour weeks, trying to, develop infrastructure. I mean, there were only a handful of clients to serve. That was the easy part. But we're developing exactly what we wanted to deliver to these organizations so that we could create the best retirement plans possible. And, for the first 3 years, I was banging my head on the wall, wondering why I would go into these prospective client meetings or sales presentations, and they'd go with somebody else, and they'd say, "Oh, this person's going to do it for free," or it was the world of undisclosed compensation and commission based, and we were fee based, we were fiduciary, and it was a disadvantage. And literally, I mean, for the first 3 years, there's a point probably 3 years in where I was going to bed one night and I was just working like crazy and barely making any money. And I had buddies I went to college with who were accountants and recruiters and whatever else. And they're, making 3 times as much money as me. And I was like, what am I going to do when this thing doesn't work out? Right. And then finally we had one client go out on a limb and want to hire us, and then another one and another one. And it just started to build. And then we were able to produce and deliver. And part of it's just the drive and the discipline and the determination. And it sounds easy and it sounds like, oh, that's what everybody says. But, I always, and I'm getting to the full scope of your question, but, I always find it interesting when people are like, oh, I don't really prospect anymore. All I do is accept referrals. And I think anybody who really wants to grow, they're either they're saying that because they think it's the right thing to say, or they're prospecting for referrals, right? You're still marketing and branding yourself. And we want to grow in a smart way. We want to work with the right types of organizations. But my experience in the early days, where I think a lot of people probably would have gotten out of the business because 3+ years and you weren't achieving any type of success. You're failing consistently for 3 years. And when we moved into this, what I'll call advice focusing on the end user, helping them improve their financial life. Sure, the first year we did the Wallet Watch Challenge, we probably had 30 people complete it, right? Right now we work with about 18,000 folks in the organizations we serve. And in the first year, we probably had 30 complete the Wallet Watch Challenge. And the second year we had 85, and so in everything, I think a lot of people would say, oh, it's not worth the time or the energy or the effort.
We started out with 2 views, now we have 10. So
they could say that. They could say, well, it's not worth it. But you're saying, well, I'm just going to keep keep my head down and keep working on it because I feel like it's the right thing.
And I think part of it, to your point, is that there are a lot of advisors who say, I'm not willing, or I don't think there's ROI in taking whatever the amount is, of revenue off the top or off the bottom, if you will, of my comp, and reinvesting that back into marketing, social, hands-on, because it takes time and resources and human capital, and I've got an awesome team. Like, to say that we can do all this stuff, it's because I've got this crew, this team that all believe in the mission, right? And we're all driving towards that mission of helping people improve today, tomorrow, and their long-term future.
All right, I want to shift gears. I think that is super valuable.
Hey, do you have another one of those in the?
We do.
Right behind you in the fridge.
In the fridge? I want to shift gears, and I want to talk a little bit about that social.
Okay.
I like what you just said, and my takeaway from that is, it's not all about efficiencies and tech and challenges and email campaigns. That's part of it, but it is also about rolling up your sleeves, getting one.
By the way, honestly, I thought when we were sitting down for this, I thought you were gonna come here and just be like, you were just blowing up the system,
right?
And it's almost refreshing to hear that you're like, no, it's not about that. Like, yeah, you're a different breed because you're maybe going down a different route, wearing Jordans and all, but it's not this crazy, gnarly, you got to do this. So I'm intrigued.
This is a scary landscape to go into, this social. I don't think it should be, but it seems to be scary for a lot of people in the sense that I think a lot of advisors, a lot of financial services looks at social media, definitely has in the past, and currently I still think a lot of them do, as like, oh, it's just a silly thing like Twitter and LinkedIn and all that kind of stuff, Facebook. And I see it differently, and when I see an advisor like you utilizing it, I feel like that you get it. And I want our audience, if they haven't picked up on it yet, to start to get it. Like, these mediums are such a great way to communicate, network, meet people, and
deliver. Don't even go away from that. Don't look at prospecting.
And deliver.
You are delivering to participants with social.
My clients, my prospects are advisors.
Mm-hmm.
Through LinkedIn, which to me is the social media platform for advisors.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I connect every day.
JD, what's your follower count at?
I connect every. Oh, he's making fun of me.
I think because he wants to know what Alex is.
It's I don't know,
7,
pushing 9,000.
What
on
you
what,
at,
Twitter?
LinkedIn.
Oh, I have no idea.
Mark,
what do you at Twitter? Like what?
I don't, not that many.
My point is that it works really well for me to connect to my prospects, okay, and start relationships. It's literally like a relationship wonderland of like, oh, I like someone's stuff. I start talking with them. Before you know it, 2 years later, I'm good buddies with the person. I'm doing business with them. Like, it's a great thing. Is that not how you view it as an advisor for current day and the future for clients? Are you not going to get clients from social media?
Definitely.
You will.
And there are two parts, right? I mean, part of it is that when you have that initial introduction, they're naturally going to say, okay, does Alex have a website? What does that website look like? Is he on Facebook? Is he on LinkedIn? Is he on Twitter? Right? So potential clients will go there and look for you. And certainly current clients are going to consume information and consume the ideas or, well, I'll say thought leadership that we deliver on there. And if they're not getting it from me, they're getting it from another advisor, right? So I want to make sure they're hearing it from me. And again, I think about this in a couple of audiences. So when we deliver content on social, we have two audiences. One is the benefits executive, which is, HR, C-suite, benefits managers, retirement committee. right? So, oh, the Department of Labor is going to redraft the fiduciary rule. I want to push that stuff out for that community, right?
Technical.
And then the rest are the folks that we serve within the organizations and everybody else across the country who wants information about personal finance, the personal finance information seekers. And so we're delivering content to them.
I'm warming up to it.
Yeah. So, but it's a place, and so I think the way that I want to approach it is sending out, whether it's a blog post or a picture or, you know, some sort of little piece, it being something that really adds value to people and is genuine to what I believe and feel. I think the trap that a lot of advisors, a lot of my peers fall under is that they are using like this sort of canned content from their back office or from other places, and they're like, oh, I got to get this stuff out just because, you know, it's like
content.
It's
content. So let me unwrap that with you, and I'll give you my perspective on you. And you may already are aware of this. I'm sure you are, but when it's not just about valuable content, like DOL regs changing, that stuff's great and valuable. But I would imagine that your current clients even, and or your prospective ones, when they see you at an event like this, when they see you at a client meeting, when they see just the simple fact that you're posting this stuff on social, my takeaway is this guy lives, breathes, and sleeps this stuff.
Right.
He likes it. He's integrating it into his life. He's having fun with it.
Yep.
So even the more
you're different than most.
Even the more cool, edgy stuff to me still reeks of, wow, this guy's all in on this 401k stuff, and that's got to be positive for a client. So not only are you giving them education, you're actually staying front of mind with them and planting a seed in their head that, oh, our guy is on top of this. And I agree with you. I think the advisors that dabble in it and worse put out just kind of prefab content that's got nothing to do with them. I don't get that emotion from them. I get the opposite, to be honest with you. And so I think they need to understand that it's about, I've said it, getting them their authentic self out there and showing the value they have.
I was just going to use authenticity. You talked earlier about making sure that they know the type of person that you are, that you're not different from work to personal life. That's just it. I feel like when I watch you on social media, I get a pretty darn good feeling for who you are as an individual, and that I can trust you and I can value your content because of it.
I'll give the audience at home a tip. I can't always come up with my own content. It's a lot of work. But I'm always reading stuff in my industry. And when I see something I like, a video, an article, or what have you, and I've vetted it out and I go, this is good, then this has some nuggets in it, I'm going to put it back out there, but I'm going to throw a little bit of my flair on it. And I'm going to write at the top, hey, I thought this was super freaking cool. I like the way this guy writes this. Don't forget to check out the end because he says this, and I'll send that. And to me, I'm putting my personal flair on it, but giving them something valuable. We need to see more of that from your competitors. Otherwise, you're just going to keep running away with all these awards.
We don't want to see more of that. I mean, we want him to just keep rocking. No, don't do this, guys. You're fine.
There's another guy.
The world. This man is trying to better the world.
Hey, there's another guy that does a decent job of this.
Okay, wait, hold on. No, don't talk about that yet. Can you plug your band real quick?
My band,
Yeah.
Dear Medallion. Yeah. So I post about them, on Twitter and Facebook. As well, so it's a alternative garage rock band
slash Ice Cube,
we'll throw in a little Ice Cube.
You do know that our editor has now found some great shot.
It's out there.
He's linked it to SoundCloud or YouTube.
Why is the deer like the animal deer?
So the band started off, it was me and a bunch of my buddies. I've played guitar since I was a little kid. In fact, the guitar I play, the primary one, is this 1994 Fender Stratocaster. It's a limited edition, has this green headstock. My mom got it for me for Christmas, and I still have it today, and I still play it all the time. And anyway, she's my biggest fan. You'll have a new fan for the show now because my mom's gonna like this thing all over the place.
What's your mom's name?
Mary Beth.
Mary Beth,
we love you.
Yeah.
Welcome.
So Anyway, so we
Such a handsome boy.
so
raised him right.
We've been playing, so when my buddies and I would get together a little bit in college, and then when we graduated, we lived in different places. I got some friends in Pittsburgh and kind of around like the Mid-Atlantic area, and we would go like get a cabin and bring our instruments and just like play music.
Is that called jam? Like
jam. We would just jam, not shred. We weren't not as much shredding, but jamming. And so the one guy, and I don't want to offend you with this, but the one guy is kind of into hunting, and so this one time he brought all this venison, and he made these little venison medallions, and the whole sort of day centered around jamming, drinking, and venison medallions,
and killing animals.
And so we became deer.
Sounds wonderful.
Sling the guitar and sling the animal.
Deer medallion, and that's how we got the name.
Very good.
So.
JD officially does not like the band.
There is another guy in the business. We've talked about him a bit. AA Ron.
Right.
He's got a pretty good social game.
Mm-hmm.
He's working on his stuff. So I thought we'd have a little fun. And I thought I invented this Aaron versus Alex kind of competition. I literally did, and now I'm learning. Now I'm learning. No, it already existed. You guys already have a video out on Twitter where you're doing this. So I apologize. I'm jumping on your act. But I thought the Retireholics could have some fun comparing Aaron to Alex.
So
you did not say we were doing this on the show.
I didn't.
Let's start up top.
What?
Jawline.
Jawline.
Whoa.
AA's got a jawline.
Yeah,
Aaron's got the jawline.
You acknowledge
yes,
that.
Oh yeah.
AA's got a jawline.
So this is a tough one. Hottest, most handsome, hotter. Who's the hotter of the two?
Are you breaking it down to like jawline versus attire? Because there's nothing.
No, we're not going fashion yet.
Kicks.
You're stealing from.
Nothing's touching those kicks.
I'm going off of participant outcomes. It's Alex.
So, handsome. My vote is going for Alex.
I'd swipe right on both of them.
You swipe right on both. I'll leave you guys. You're fine.
I feel like that just answered every question that needed to be asked on this topic.
We already know who wins the Tapo Award. So that goes to you. I'm imagining you're building up your points right now on the screen. Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Yeah.
He's going to do the editing.
The beer bottle is filling up for Alex right now.
Fashion. Justin, Mark, votes.
Oh,
he's got Jordan's on, dude. Yeah.
You gotta go.
If nothing else,
I mean,
he can win every other
Aaron's
one.
Pressed, but I mean,
gotta go. You're Alex the third.
Well,
that's right.
Your new,
there's a more impressive.
Your new son's gonna be the fourth.
Is the fourth.
I mean, that's impressive.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
That might be worth another little credit. 5 months. Congratulations on
5 months, I heard.
5 months old.
That's awesome.
He goes by George. Which is my middle name, Alexander George Assaley the third, and he's the fourth.
Wow. I wish I had something like that on the end of my name.
I like AJ.
Third.
Yeah.
James Douglas Carlson the third. This is.
He
just gave up his full name.
JD3.
What?
James Douglas.
Don't do that often. So yeah, I don't really have any other comparisons, so I'm just gonna go with Alex is the winner. Versus Aaron.
That's two
big awards.
Victories. Wow. I know this one is way
really
bigger
big
than
Your trophy for that is nothing.
I'm not gonna lie.
Once again,
you had your trophy, so you could just slam it on the table.
I imagine Aaron Potachin watching this show, earbuds in, on the stationary bike, super pissed off, firing up, speeds of sweat going down. I think he's going to have a big year in 2019.
I do too.
I think he's going to talk to us for a little
This
while.
is not. You don't want to like stoke the fire of your, biggest peers like I'm doing right now.
I know where Aaron beats you. We are going to go to his presentation tomorrow, and we're going to try to heckle him because he asked us to.
He is.
But we've
a group of people that sit around drinking beer talking about 401k plans. How damaging that would be to your brand. I don't know how you would survive in business. Horrible. Compare that to.
He is very scary, and I am very concerned about heckling him in front of a live audience. I'm afraid he's going to take me down.
He's got a quick wit, huh?
Yes, very
scared
good.
JD a little bit.
Anything you'd like to say to close out? Anything you talk about?
As an advisor, my mission is helping people do the things that I wish, my family, my mom in particular, had when she was in her
Unforeseen
30s and things like that. And so that's what I think about every single day. And so there's a lot of great people doing that sort of stuff.
And you can't maybe all win awards like this guy, but you can be pretty good. Get it done, right?
We're never going to win an award.
What do you mean? We
Oh,
give out
come
our
on.
own awards.
Yeah.
You totally
We
can win
win
awards.
plenty.
We're thinking about, you know how you get your award or plaques?
Yeah.
We're thinking about making a Retireholics plaque for advisors to send to their office. I can hang on the wall.
Yeah. I'll
we need to
order
totally post
I'll
the
order that
first
thing
one.
up right now.
It's like a crushed gold beer can on the, old
Yeah.
maple,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I think he should be the first one to receive that. I'm not
Sure,
gonna
for
lie.
sure. We're
Hey,
gonna
thank you guys so
Richard,
much.
Thanks for being on
I
the
love
show.
hanging out with you.
We are the Retireholics with a guest. We're changing the retirement plan industry one gluten-free beer at a time. Thanks for tuning in. See ya. From Vegas. Woo.